Alina looked like the kind of girl who had it all together. Straight A student, clean room, a sweet smile that made adults say, "Such a lovely girl." But no one saw what was happening behind that quiet face. At home, everything was fine, maybe even perfect. Loving parents who made her lunch every morning, a cozy bedroom with fairy lights and bookshelves, and a dog named Mango who followed her like a shadow. But every night, when the lights went off, something inside her cracked. It started small. A classmate showing off her brand new phone, a friend on Instagram posting pictures from a vacation in Paris, another girl with perfect skin, perfect hair, and a perfect laugh that seemed to echo louder than Alina's ever could. And just like that, Alina started shrinking. Not in size, but in spirit. She began counting all the things she didn't have. That certain look, that kind of confidence, that group of friends who always tagged each other in stories. She couldn't explain it, but the more she scrolled, the emptier she felt. Her smile, once natural, became something she wore like a mask. Her parents noticed. Of course they did. They tried weekend getaways, favorite meals, even long heart-to-hearts. But no matter what they did, Alina's heart stayed quiet, heavy. She didn't want to admit it, but she felt broken, like something inside her was missing, but she didn't know what. And then one day, something unexpected happened, something that would pull her out of this fog. But she didn't know it yet. Not yet. Alina didn't even say goodbye when her parents dropped her off. They called it a change of pace. She called it exile. Her grandmother's cottage was tucked between hills and silence. No Wi-Fi, no TV, just chirping birds, creaky floorboards, and an endless forest that seemed to watch her every move. She hated it. She missed noise, missed drama, missed knowing what everyone else was doing so she could feel bad about her own life. But her grandmother, she was different. She moved slowly, spoke even slower, like nothing in the world needed to be rushed. She didn't judge, didn't pry, just observed, with those kind, weathered eyes that made Alina uncomfortable in a way she couldn't explain. One golden evening, as the sun melted behind the trees, her grandmother invited her on a walk. They wandered through the forest, shoes crunching against twigs, fireflies blinking like forgotten stars. And then, without warning, her grandmother stopped, pulled a tiny worn book from her apron and said, "This helped me when I forgot how to smile." Alina looked at it, just a plain brown notebook. Nothing magical, nothing exciting. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every night. No skipping, no matter how small. Alina rolled her eyes. Gratitude? Really? What was that supposed to fix? But something about her grandmother's voice, gentle, firm, ancient, made her nod. Just once, she told herself. That night, in a room that smelled like lavender and old wood, Alina opened the book. She stared at the blank page for a long time. Then finally, she wrote, "The sound of leaves outside my window, Mango's last hug before I left, Grandma's apple tea." She didn't feel different, but something had started, something she couldn't yet name. At first, it felt silly. Alina sat on the edge of her bed, pen in hand, staring at that little brown notebook like it owed her something. What was she even supposed to write? The first few nights were awkward. Socks that didn't itch. Grandma's tea that tasted like cinnamon and stories. Her cat Mango's sneeze that sounded like a hiccup wrapped in a meow. Nothing deep, nothing life-changing. But somehow it got easier. On the fifth night, she paused while brushing her teeth and noticed the moonlight glowing through the window, lighting the hallway like a quiet painting. She wrote that down too. Soon her list grew. Strange, beautiful little things she'd never noticed before. The warmth of the kitchen floor in the morning, how her grandmother hummed old songs while cooking, the way the sunlight painted the leaves gold during late afternoons. She started laughing again, really laughing, at dumb jokes her grandma made, at memories of Mango knocking over glasses just for fun. Her appetite returned slowly but surely. So did her sleep. Then one afternoon she realized something strange. She hadn't picked up her phone in 2 days. Not because she was resisting, not because she was on some kind of detox. She just didn't need it. The screen didn't call to her anymore because something else was speaking louder now. Something deeper, softer, more honest. The notebook hadn't changed the world around her. It had changed the lens through which she saw it. And that was starting to feel like real magic. When Alina returned home, everything was just as loud and fast and shiny as before. The screens still screamed perfection. The halls at school still echoed with gossip, glitter, and pressure. But Alina wasn't the same girl who had left. She carried something with her now. Not just a notebook, but a kind of inner quiet, a steadiness. Whenever that old ache returned, the one that whispered, "You're not enough," she'd reach into her backpack, flip open those worn pages, and write, "Hot chocolate after a cold walk." A text from Grandma just saying, "I miss you." A moment of laughter in the lunchroom, and just like that, the noise faded. Her smile wasn't forced anymore. It came without effort. Her parents noticed first. "She's lighter," her mom whispered one evening. Then her teacher mentioned she seemed more present. And one day at school, Alina noticed a girl sitting alone, head down, hoodie up, drowning in the noise of her own mind. Alina recognized that look. It was the same one she used to wear like armor. So quietly, she sat next to her. No big speech, no dramatic moment. Just this. She slid her gratitude notebook across the desk and said, "This helped me. Maybe it can help you too." The girl didn't say much, just nodded. But the next day, she brought her own notebook. Different cover, same magic. And so the ripple began. Not a wave, not a storm, just one heart, softening another. And in that moment, Alina realized, healing doesn't always shout. Sometimes it simply shares. 30 days passed, then 60, then more. The notebook grew fat with scribbles, pages full of tiny, quiet moments most people would scroll past. But not Alina, not anymore. She knew now. The notebook wasn't magic. It never was. The real magic was her eyes, finally open. She didn't move to a new city, didn't buy a better phone, didn't suddenly become the most popular girl in school. Her life didn't change. She did. She began to notice how the wind smelled before rain, how her dad always waited up for her even when he pretended not to, how music sounded different when she was grateful. The hunger for more faded because she finally saw what she already had. Her classmates still chased likes and follows, but Alina chased something quieter: peace, clarity, joy that didn't need an audience. Sometimes she still slipped. Comparison still knocked. But she knew what to do now. She'd write just 3 simple things, and with every list, she came home to herself again. Years later, when someone asked her how she became so calm, so grounded, so content, she smiled, reached into her bag, and pulled out that same little notebook, now faded, fragile, and full of life. "This," she said gently, "this didn't change my life. It just helped me see the one I already had, clearly, fully, finally." And that's where joy began, not in getting more, but in seeing what was already there.